Media ni Jaquai, Namidia Rahwas Naba, or Docontua Utui, Oquencho. A month for, or said the Mede Asante Achim James Brown, young, our pins episode winner. That should tell you so, don't want some money ever becano. On your marks, get set, pay. And we are having the marriage conversation. Let me start off with 3 facts about marriage. First and foremost, marriage is no child's play. Secondly, I don't think marriage is meant for everyone. And the third and final one, they say marriage does not guarantee any self-fulfillment. The entire members have 3 facts we need. Now, according to the 2021 Population and Housing Census, counting in Ghana, the number of divorce recorded now is a little above 500,000, with about a little above 400,000 who are separated. Over statistics now, most of these people who are either divorced or separated, 60% are. Now, the yearly rates, they recorded about 4,000 divorces per year. That should tell you say there are a lot of dynamics as far as marriage is concerned. Again, in their statistics, they realize that about 30% of people are living in marriages that they are not happy about. How did they get into that marriage in the first place? Probably because of family and societal pressure. But they are not happy in their marriages. And in Tina, you say, Senka, abayin shemra, anasi nyankopon free sure bisi fama beka say okay. Mama wari ni nyina, I'm giving you a fellow. Oyera one neti, ukuna one neti no. Muti mesesa, muti change partnership no. Wako fu before. Enki your boss a pena. I wanna ka obi who changes a horror. But the other side, they say, nipa na one neti na, also was suffocated, ti wunti mini nintine bio no. Uja no wako fu before no, beba back, and now the na also umpeno. Ubi a funny the no chombo kokra, or the no quad acromadeko. Yes, because ubia kono die any odomponso no. Now, as far as the marriage journey is concerned, we need to understand some of these complexities. The first thing we all need to give attention to is the basis of the marriage. The basis should be the most important thing. I mean, there have been several conversations as far as marriage is concerned about how to prepare for marriage and all that. But you should understand, say, the basis has to be solid. Even though the records have shown, say, a lot of people are getting divorced. Yes, there are other people too who have been married for so many years and they have been able to live through their marriage to the very end. And so how are those people able to do it? That should tell you, say, the foundation of every partnership has to be strong. I had to say the Uzi Dino. So Uzi Abronsign, now my foundation, I say the entire foundation. Definitely a boo. And that is where a lot of people get it wrong. People have entered into relationships with other people. They hardly knew them. If you decide to get married, probably the first category of people you should be considering is someone who is very close to you, a close friend. Don't go and get married to an acquaintance, someone you have just met. Nipanushi and maybe 2 months money, and then because of societal pressure, you are all over the person. You want to get married by all means because there's a lot of pressure in society. There's a lot of pressure in your own family. And so you want to get married by all means. So what Nyasa base is no writer, you may find yourself wanting. Because Nipana Ushia the 2 months are also wako. There are a lot of things you don't know about this person. Ushiano wa Montana Mubon Komodia. The person is an angel. That time no. Obo wa no jinaho. The person is at your beck and call. And it you feel say we share angel be. But people have been married for over 30 years. And they are now learning new things about their partner that they never knew when they met the person. Nipa no shia no foforo dia, yeso odo foforo die, nefe na ekọ echi ho no, say diminishing returns setting in now statistics who the true colors of the person. The reason why a lot of people are missing these basics and they are growing their relationship on a very weak basis is because of the societal pressure. Society na ye team no. Adie bi obeyi nipa beka ho asem. In your own family, at church, wherever you find yourself. So when you hit a certain age limit, now the days are going by. Now people close to you don't see, say, when you be numb. You are making the move to get married. Yes, pressure na you be so good so den. The a compound situation, and they say more family, more siblings. And then probably even your younger siblings are getting married. Now that's what you. Yes, I their pressure na no thing. Baby she will be a lady tatao. And yeah, I just say until the news of a close friend be And as one of your junior siblings announces about be worry. As I yeshiawa, so we the next year ya near about so no. And the pressure keeps getting worse. It doesn't get any easier. People who find themselves in such situations usually think a lot because when you binum the see so, as soon as you are meaning the see so any mate no worry. Obetia, this person I'm in no class, you know worry. And it's like you keep getting older, but you are not getting there. And it tends to put a lot of pressure on the youth. Once I drew our age bracket we. Now me age mates in a any day. It means them come to a drew me so no. But like someone said, say Obi Bisao say, why is it that all your age mates are getting married? You should ask yourself, say yes, as much as a lot of your classmates are getting married, no, some of your classmates are also dying. But would you wish that you also die like some of your classmates who have taken the lead? Certainly not. And indeed, you say a sunakoko kra and a snow break. The fact that most of your classmates, or probably all of them, are getting married, no, doesn't necessarily mean say by all means you should also get married. Now the struggle is how you are able to sustain the pressure while you wait. With the society pressure no relationship one for the rest of your life. Society no will give you all the pressure. Say ceremony no do oh, I fro don't do. But Kaihunu say as soon as the ceremony is over, pressure then it is left with you and the partner that you have entered into this relationship with. Say it is your cross to bear. Now in the Bible, Nyankopon bo Adam no ono heard the situation who what was lacking in the man's life create Eve and the man. That is a precedent, and it is a forewarning to tell us if we want to enter into a relationship with anyone, we should ask the one who created us in the first place, because onu no nim and the pa or they share the man and the partner numa or the brain. In this day and age, of course, yes, God is not going to create an Eve. No son and sa enfanem bro. Say Adam will Eve and create a man, you know. But as much as possible, we know say we have a creator. And as far as our marriage is concerned, we need to seek his guidance. Sometimes you think about some of the situations that happen in life that should tell you that there is a higher power. Now you ask yourself, say, Adentina, Obi betimi atena wiase mu. Obe follow all the principles, the guiding principles of Bible dia maye. Nipa no osi so ya bofra no onye no ho basabasa. Wenyi afi ope partner ni bia onya ebi mana kwem. Obe struggle ebi beba wie nso a even though nipa no oye a very virtuous woman, wahwe no husu yie wanya basabasa no. Obehwe na nipa akwapo hia no na stem basabasa. Wa nom sa na opemma ana opewi eni cocaine ana say osan abuse no in a relationship. Why would such a good soul go and meet nipa or a different wavelength? That should tell you say there is a higher power that is ruling the earth. We don't have the answers to everything. So nipa will get into an abusive relationship. Echiri ubehwe mu kusukra no na osan pe awo kra in the marriage na ensan ma. Meanwhile, like I always say, atadwa no team fichire ho no. We see so abortion a friend abortion bia wa yibi pain. And so omre ho no wenye kunu. Onye kunu so ayire so ibi kura na 9 months no kura nse nduru na wasan awo. That should tell you say there are a lot of dynamics in this existence. And into your strongest foundation should be on your God. Uje bibia sha onu Nyankopon sa onu no betimi lead you on. And yes, so also you want to use one kasawo experience nyoma wosua in abrabo to enter into the marriage. Trust me, you will get the basics wrong. One of the other complexities has to do with the issue of diminishing returns. Adie bia wo sha say ahokeka ne anigi a wo de sha say no, usually it is over there at the peak, but oko wanim na then you see say it starts diminishing. And inti ebinum se mpena twe de chen aware no adentia, because at that time no be ma no until hu jai ade no mbisa e kra no no ankasa de ba owu hia we obetimi afro anopo empacho wedidi ewie wedidi undidi ya na no hu nyina titil. But you should understand say once you get married, it is not going to stay the same forever. Afi, the number of times I know flow in a day no eso better. The number of times I know bisa say wedidi adentia wundidi ye aden wo yare ana there be. You should understand that this is a principle of nature. So once you begin to see some of these things, it is not necessarily a sign that nipa no was start cheating because no offer 5 times have you worry as a call no so what nka first okudru edwuma ma no afro ni we nti say no we feel say master nti and then you automatically conclude say then my partner is cheating. It doesn't necessarily mean that. After the premium na nipa no to so no it is still there but I reduce it. However, if we want to make our marriages work, then we need to put in extra effort to make sure say we always sustain sa ahokekana time ani en worry ni edishare relationship no. We need to sustain it. That is why we always say marriage is work. One other basics that we need to get right is a sustained income. Yes, say odo kakra, sika kakra. You cannot have a great marriage when sikasem lucky. Say sikasem ebe a problem wa wari ma. Aseme enye bufu edi obufu weba. That is how the system is, especially these days here nyomo muaye tari. So you definitely need to have a sustained income, and that is why it is advised say you need to have probably a meaningful employment before you think about marriage. First, Nanka, a lot of women are not keen when it comes to getting employment. Say they will use it to keep their home. And then the story has changed. The issue of housewife, it doesn't really exist. And into so we are back now, you intend to have a meaningful relationship or a sustained marriage. Now you are thinking, say you want to be a housewife. You're thinking being that I want to sacrifice and be at home and take care of the children. You might be getting it wrong. The dynamics of marriage has changed so much. And then you cannot depend on one stream of income. And then you don't think, say, all the burden should be on the man whilst you stay at home and take care of the house. It doesn't work that way. Why do you say what if you know sacrifice with you? One way you may lose your marriage entirely because it doesn't work that way. It is a necessity as it stands now to have employment before you think about marriage. Without that, the basis of the marriage will suffer because say if the thinking is that now what if the man loses his job? Then how then do you survive? So it is a necessity in this day and age. Yes, it was so bad here, and your old bear money there, then you have no excuse. If you're a man and you don't have a job and you are thinking of marriage, wishful thinking, wait and get a job before you venture into marriage. Don't also bank all your expectations on the woman. Probably Obana Wakakushian in a year, Juma, a very meaningful job and earning a decent income. And until you feel say the way I'm a dog bowing, I don't want to lose her. And until as at now, me the man, I don't have a job there, but me perception I'm a warrior bano. Then after the marriage, I'll look for a job. Krachi, don't make that mistake. You don't need to put the cart before the horse. Make sure you get a job before you think about marriage. It is one of the basics. You can't get that wrong. If you do it the other way around, your relationship or your marriage may suffer. Your marriage will start with a lot of misunderstanding. One way you may not find your balance until at a certain point it will get there. And then you now will say no, I want out of this relationship. Now, some of the dynamics you need to understand about marriage is so once you get married to your partner, and more or less or by extension, you are also married to your partner's family. Family play a key role as far as your marriage is concerned. Family, now we expect to say your marriage will last or will thrive. It will be research or and then the findings are by and they say if you are a man and you have a very good relationship with your in-laws or your marriage is likely to last. But if you're a woman and you don't have a very solid relationship with your in-laws or and until we need to understand the dynamics as far as family is concerned. Once you get married, of course, any or partner, no parents, and not the same way. But a certain level of respect need be commitment you cannot also compromise on it. Because there is a saying say oh, assume see okay, na me yere no and anami kunu. But there is no way as a nipana bit me general be say, oh, bray okay, nemi no. There is no saying like that. And into one of your partner na wako ware we busumu no. Say if you don't form your relationship or your marriage on a good basis, one where the marriage can fall apart. More falling apart. The man bit me refer to you as oh we. ɔyɛ me ex-wife na me yere no but ne nua ne maame ne papa ontimi nka sɛ wei na ɔyɛ me papa ana wei na ɔyɛ me nua. I mean, there is no separation as far as that blood is concerned, and that is why going into the marriage you should put a lot of premium on the family of your partner. You cannot get that wrong as well. Another dynamics as far as marriage is concerned is your place of abode, where the two of you are going to stay. In the planning of your marriage, you cannot compromise on that. You need to also prioritize where you are going to stay. There are a lot of marriages that have suffered in the long run because are staying in a family house. We need to be careful when we are planning our marriages and make adequate provision for where the two of us are going to stay. If you decide to stay in a family house, then you should also be ready for the consequences that come with it. And some of the consequences, as far as a lot of researchers are concerned, is the fact that there is a lot of influence in your marriage. Because you are living in a family house, family honor and Penyufu honor will always have a say in what you do in your marriage. And kawo plan say you pesi ye way ye person can say no, because you are in a family house and people there will now tell you that they be we ni say and so it's like you are always living on the edge. DBS will be taking decision more. So it is very critical that as you plan, you make sure that you plan for your place of abode as well. So if you live in a family house, now later and you move to your own place, now taking decision now, you would notice, it will become clear to you that your marriage will be in a better place. You will be able to take a lot of decisions on your own. You will be happier because probably by the time on a more family house, you realize that you have a lot of misunderstanding. You might be a misunderstanding, but because of the influences. But once you are on your own, there is a lot of freedom for you to operate, and so your peace of mind and everything will now be settled for you. Now there are tolerance levels, and that is another dynamic as far as marriage is concerned. Minimawarifobia, they were married for close to 40 years, and yet at that latter part of their marriage, they decided to get a divorce. Or more divorce we and chakra na partner no craba free. The fact that right after the divorce, one of them died at a very later age, should tell you say they were very old. And yet one felt say now I've had it up to here. I can no longer take it. But you ask yourself, say, if you were able to tolerate your partner all these years, why now? But that should tell you that there are tolerance levels. For so many years. But one day when the spark comes, we can only tolerate nonsense up to a certain level. At a certain point, no matter what, the person will just fall out. Want to mean baby you. And so the best thing to do is that they opt out so that they can maintain their mental sanity. It's as simple as that. You cannot ask for a perfect partner in your relationship when you yourself, you are not striving to be the perfect one. And if you want your relationship to mimic a perfect one, don't always ask for a perfect partner, but try as much as possible to be a perfect person for your partner. Other than that, they can only tolerate you for so long. At a certain point, they will give up. It doesn't matter for how many years. And as more worry 50 years, if you say at this point, no jawa na hobetona, the person will opt out.